Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Good evening. Welcome to the Dhammapada program of the Buddha Dharma TV. Last week, I said that we are going to discuss 4 stages leading to the enlightenment or arahantship, because we were unable to move forward without the knowledge, without that knowledge of 4 stages leading to the enlightenment. We have completed the chapter 6 that dealt with the man or woman steadily increasing in wisdom. Now we have started to deal with the chapter that treats the person who is completely illumined, arahant. Literally, one who is deserving. An arahant is that person who, having developed the fullness of his humanity by attaining nirvana, attaining nirvana. Now truly deserve to be called a human being. The Buddha once said about the arahant, profound, measureless, unfathomable. And it's just like the great oceans. Profound, measureless, unfathomable. These are 3 characteristics of an arahant. Like the great ocean, said the Buddha. The concept reborn does not apply to him, and also not reborn concept does not apply to him. Thousands of monks, nuns, and lay followers, both male and female, said to have attained this state within the Buddha's lifetime. We were not yet enlightened. I mean to say, I am not yet enlightened. Like we are on a spiritual path. Upon attaining this initial stage of sainthood, he eliminates 3 fetters. 3 fetters. We call in Pali samyojana, that bind him to existence. That binds him to existence. The 3. First, sakkaya ditti. Sati kaye ditti, literally. When a group of compound exists, Here kaya refers to the 5 aggregates of matter: feeling, perception, mental states, and consciousness. These are words, but deep meaning there. It's hard to digest, but these are the things that we have to get rid of. Hard to understand, hard to get rid of them. We don't get the opportunity easily. Dhamma is there, path is there. Only what we need, a person to tread the path. So these 5 aggregates of matter, feeling, perception, mental states, and consciousness. The view that there exists an unchanging entity, a permanent soul. This was really a biggest problem that everyone was holding this theory of a soul. There is unending, permanent soul with us. The view that there exists an unchanging entity, a permanent soul. When there is a complex compound of psychophysical aggregates, is termed Sakkaya Ditthi. Sakkaya Ditthi. Can you understand what I mean to say? The view that there exists an unchanging entity, a permanent soul in this physical body. When there is a complex compound or psychophysical aggregates. I hope you understand. These words are very deep, meaningful words. But there are no other words to explain this unless you see these things with the insight. So, but at least the knowledge is required. So this aggregate is termed Sakkaya Ditthi. In the commentaries, it enumerates 20 kinds of such soul theories. Sakkaya Ditthi, soul theories. Theory of soul. That means something permanent entity is existing. Even after death it is traveling. That's the view. The Sakkaya Ditthi is usually rendered as self-illusion. Self-illusion. Theory of individuality or illusion of individualism. This is called Sakkaya Ditthi, the first one of the 3. Second comes Vicikiccha. Vicikiccha, doubts. There are doubts about the Buddha, the Dhamma, his noble teachings, the Sangha, his noble enlightened disciples of the order, the disciplinary rules, the rules of disciplines, and the disciplinary rules, and then comes the 5, the past. The past. 6 is the future. 7th, both the past and the future. And the 8th is dependent origination, Paticca Samuppada. Then comes the Silabbata Paramasa. What I said was just merely verbal meanings, but we need to have a detailed explanation in order for us to understand these things until we see them through our insight. So third is Silabbata Paramasa, adherence to wrongful rites and ceremonies. Wrongful rites and ceremonies. These rule the world. Everywhere, in every country, in every people. There are rites, ceremonies, rituals, wrongful ones. So in the commentaries it is explained. It is the theory held by ascetics and Brahmins outside this doctrine. Ascetics and Brahmins. Ascetics, you can go to India, you can see some ascetics along the Gangaji rivers. Some are naked, some are half naked, some are long beard, mustached, hairs, without clothes. So these types, these are rituals. They are rituals. So that's what in the commentaries is said. It is the theory held by ascetics and Brahmins outside this doctrine that purification is obtained by rules and moral conduct, or by virtues, or by both rules, moral conduct and rights. For the eradication of the remaining seven factors for eradication of seven factors, a Sotapanna is reborn 7 times. One who attains the first stage of the 4 stages or levels, Sotapanna. That's the first. Is born 7 times at the most. He gains implicit confidence in the Buddha, his teachings, and the Sangha, the order of the disciples. He would not for any reason violate any of the 5 precepts. He wouldn't, for whatever reason, violate any of the 5 precepts. 5 precepts. 5 precepts. He is not subject to rebirth in states of woeful states or woeful states, as he is destined to enlightenment. With fresh courage as a result of this distant glimpse of Nibbana, the person who has attained the first stage, Sotapatti, he gets a distant glimpse of Nibbana. The noble pilgrim makes a rapid progress, and perfecting his insight becomes a Sakadagami, once returner, the second stage of sainthood, by attenuating 2 other fetters, namely sense desires, Kama Raga, and ill will, Pattigha. So that's how the stage by stage step by step. When we attain, when we move forward, stage by stage, step by step, we drop certain defilements, or we can say. So, obstacles to the path of liberation. So, this stage, second stage, when he has sense desires, kamaraga and ill will, he drops. Now he is called a once returner because he is born in the human realm only once. Should he not attain arahantship in the birth itself? So he will be born only once in a human realm. It is interesting to note that the Arya saint who has attained the second stage of sainthood can only weaken these two powerful fetters with which he is bound from a beginningless past. Beginningless past. At times, though to a slight extent, he may harbor thoughts of lust and anger. It is by attaining the third stage of sainthood, that of the anagami, never returner. First returner, second returner, but in the third stage of sainthood, that of the anagami, never returner, that he completely eradicates those two fetters. Thereafter, he neither returned to this world, nor is he born in the celestial realms, since he has rooted out the desire for sensual gratification. After death, he is reborn in the pure abodes, like Suddha Vasa is a name for one of the abodes. An environment reserved for anagamis. There he attains the arahantship and lives till the end of his life. When a layman becomes an anagami, he leads a celibate life. The anagami saint now makes his final advance and destroying the remaining five fetters. These five fetters are attachment to realms of form, rupa, raga. Attachment to formless realms, arupa raga. Pride, mana. Restlessness, uddacha. And ignorance, avijja. Arahantship, the final stage of the sainthood. Then he attains, having given up all these things, he attains the arahantship. Extreme winners, once returners, never returners are called sekhas because they have yet to undergo a training. Arahants are called asekhas, adept because they no more undergo any training. An arhat literally, a worthy one, is not subject to rebirth because he does accumulate fresh karmic activities. The seed of his reproduction have all been destroyed. The arhat realizes that what was to be accomplished has been done. A heavy burden of sorrow has finally been relinquished. That is the sorrow. Heavy burden of sorrow has finally been relinquished, and all forms of craving and all shades of ignorance are totally annihilated. The happy pilgrims now stands on heights more than celestial. The happy pilgrim now stands on heights more than celestial, I said, far removed from uncontrolled passions and the defilements of the world, experiencing the unutterable bliss of nirvana. Rebirth can no longer affect him since no more reproductive seeds are formed by fresh karmic activity. Though an arhat, he is not wholly free from physical suffering, as this experience of the bliss of deliverance is only intermittent, not had he yet cast off his material body. Arhat also is not wholly free from physical suffering, as this experience of the bliss of deliverance is only intermittent, nor had he yet cast off his miserable material body. Bliss of deliverance. An arhat is called an asekha, yes, one who has done or one who has not undergo training. As he has lived the holy life and has accomplished his object. I'm trying to use the terms and the words simple as possible to explain this level so that you will be very comfortable with these stages, arhats. The other saints from the Sotapatti stage to the Arhat path stage are called shakers. From the Sotapatti to the Arhat stage, they are called shakers because they still undergo training. It may be mentioned that this connection that Anagamis and Arhants who have developed the Rupa and Arupa jhanas could experience the Nibbanic bliss uninterruptedly for as long as 7 days, even in this life. This is, in Pali, is known as Nirodha Samapatti. An Arya in this state is wholly free from pain, and his mental activities are all suspended. His stream of consciousness temporarily ceased to flow. With regard to the difference between one who has attained Nirodha Samapatti and a dead man, the Visuddhimagga states it, in the corpse not only are the plastic forces of the body, speech and mind stilled and quiescent, but also vitality is exhausted. Here it is quenched and the faculties of sense broken up. Whereas in the bhikkhu in ecstasy, vitality persists. Heart abides and the faculties are clear, although respiration, observation, and perceptions are skilled and quiescent. According to Buddhism, in conventional terms, this is the highest form of bliss possible in this life. So it is good to know that this Dhamma that we discuss, they are hard to understand, but Buddha talks straight, address the question, and thereby, as a Bodhisattva, aspirant to Buddha, he did all his possible that we cannot even think of, the efforts he put forward in achieving this. With the blessings of the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha, may you all be blessed. May you have the wisdom and courage to realize the noble, sublime teaching of the Buddha.